and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is your girl Honey. Welcome back, people, welcome back. And those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Honey and I am a British astrologer. Today we are focusing a lot on the Sag moon, people. Yes, the big bold Jupiters. However, before we get into that, just want to put out there, please guys visit my website honeysastro.com, check out my services, and also please bear in mind, because a lot of you guys say I had no idea you had a podcast. Yes, I have a podcast on my website. I think there are over like 60-70 episodes now, all talking about astrology. I have written a document called Love, Sex and Relationship Astrology, where I'm talking all about, yes, you heard me. So make sure, if you guys are curious to know all about that in terms of synastry, placement, pimp, sex work, you name it, it is all in that document, and I will link it below in the comments, the pinned comments to be precise, and it's going to look like that right over here on my website. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, comment to help a girl out. Right, people, we are talking a little bit about the Sag moon. You guys asked me to post this video next, so here we are. Let's talk a little bit about what the moon essentially represents, right? The moon is your emotional fulfillment, foundation, home, security, roots, your family. It represents how you feel emotionally fulfilled, like that wholesome feeling. And then you have Sag energy. Sag is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of luck, blessings, gains, expansion, travel, freedom, knowledge, optimism, spirituality, and faith and religion. Now, Sag moon people, I have a lot of you guys in my life. My partner happens to be a Sag moon as well. Annoying. But I'm going to explain why you guys have been given a Sag moon and what it means for you guys, okay? Let's start off by talking a little bit about how you guys were raised and what it feels like to be in your family situation. Now remember, the moon, the fourth house, represents your emotional fulfillment, how you feel fulfilled, but also how you were nurtured. Sag moon people are more likely to come from a family who were immigrants from different countries, have a particular belief system. Maybe your mum might believe that, you know, it's important to give a child as much freedom as possible, or back in their home country they were religious, for example. Belief system, religion, faith can all play a huge part in your upbringing as a Sag moon. Your mum may have taken you on a lot of holidays, lots of trips, traveling back and forth to families, like driving from one part of America to the next, to one part of the UK to the next, like doing a lot of long distance driving, but also traveling. You know, your parents talking about their culture, where they come from, giving you a cultural name, taking you back home, you know, and you also wanting to retire back home. You know, there's a lot to do with culture being a very huge factor in your life. Your mum can also be very heavily involved in religion. And one thing I've noticed as well is sometimes religion can come a bit later in life, you know, for some Sag moon, but religion can also play a very big role in your mum's life, and there could also be a lot of encouragement towards you believing in what she believes. But again, you are inheriting more surrounding the faith. You know, even if you're not religious yourself, the same faith your mum has in her religion, you might have faith in spirituality yourself. Mum could have been a philosopher, a teacher, or someone who influenced you a lot in terms of learning. Now think about Sag energy as I need to know information, I need to know the truth to everything. So a lot of the times you guys in Sag moon are constantly looking for a sense of belonging or a sense of family. Not that you don't belong in your family or you feel ostracized. That's not the case for everybody. But Sag moon is like, you know what, I need to find something that feels like family or feels like home to me. And a lot of the time you guys exist in your family, but you know there is more to life out there. And that's an easy process to book a flight somewhere and go and live there for a while, to literally live away from your family, because you're always searching for something more. Remember, the moon is your emotions, it's your environment, but it's also how you feel stable and grounded. So if Sag is all about I need more, it's always going to be searching for something more. And that's why the house placement also indicates where you're searching for more in terms of, you know, what it is that you feel like you need to have. Mum could have been a very domineering woman. Not the case for every Sag moon person out there. But there's something very distinctive about your mum. I look at Sag, right? Even Sag on the ascendant, oh my God. There's always something big about Sag energy. So to have a Sag moon, there's something very big about your mum. It could be your mum's weight. She could be a very bubbly, jolly woman, big, voluptuous lady. She could be someone who's got a very big laugh, or she has a very distinctive voice. One thing I've noticed about Sag moon people is you guys have a very distinctive voice and very good at mimicking your parents' accents as well, and laughing at them, making jokes of it. You know, you guys are very light-hearted with it, but there's something about the voice that's very distinctive. Because I have heard a lot of husky Sag moon people, but it's just I'm going to say raspy. There's a raspy tone to a Sag moon person's voice. Now, don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of Sag moon people, you come from an environment where your mum is single. A lot of people are single. It's okay, it's not a big deal. Your mum could be single, but she's very happy being single because she's very independent, she's fierce. But even if your mum is with someone, or even if she's married, she has a lot of independence about her. And a lot of that is also installed into yourself. I'm not saying you'll be single forever. I mean, Sag has got its own commitment issues, which I will go into as I go through the video. But in terms of your need for independence, there's that need for freedom. You have to look at the world, right, as somewhere to go. Although you're born wherever you're born, you're never supposed to stay there forever. That place will always be your home, you know, where you come from. That's great. But there's so much more to life around the world. I remember I was saying Sag is all about truth seeking, about finding and feeling fulfilled. If you stay in the same country and you're not getting that fulfillment, you will find fulfillment in bad habits, which tends to be food. Okay, gaining a lot of weight. Sag moon people can have their weight fluctuate all the flipping time. But imagine if you had a lot of adventure and fun in your life, where you had lots of activities to do. You're traveling from this country to that, to here, to there. You're gonna feel a lot more fulfilled. You're not gonna be gaining as much weight, you know, as you would be if you stayed in the same place and had nothing to do. And also as well, when you think about Sag moon, right, its need for fulfillment can also be in terms of knowledge. You know, this is very similar to the 9th house, moon being the 9th house. 9th house is the house of higher learning, foreign lands, language, culture, belief system, freedom, travel. So when the moon sits in there, when the moon's in Sagittarius, you guys require a lot of knowledge and information. Now this may differ if you have Gemini placements. If you have Gemini placements, or even in any aspect to Mercury, you're going to be used to learning off your own accord. You know, if you're into astrology, you might think, okay, I'm going to learn it, but I'm going to learn by watching lots of videos. I'm going to learn by purchasing readings and buying lots of books. You might learn that way for yourself. But Sag energy, this is, you know, about blessings, you know, luck and gaining things. Sag is very entitled, and this is how I feel about things. So you'll find a lot of Sag energy, period. Sag moon, right, where you feel entitled to a lot of information. You have Twitter, for example, a massive social media network. And we have a huge astro community on there. And I think it was it last year or year before, there was a lot of drama in that community in regards to information being shared, right? And a lot of people had a problem with not getting information through Twitter, from astrologers, because it was the Pluto in Sag generation. Again, the Sag energy. On Twitter, you can ask an astrologer a question and they have a right to respond or not. It's entirely up to that person if they want to. But sometimes people get offended and take it very personal if they don't respond with the answer that they want to hear or at all. Now, the entitlement of Sag energy is, I deserve to know. I'm all about knowing things. I'm all about knowledge, right? I'm all about being in the know of everything, which is fine. But Sag is Jupiter energy. It's lazy. It hates doing the work for itself. So it's more open to being told or being given the resources than to go out there and find it for itself. And this is unfortunately what makes the Sag energy very lazy, is that you guys make amazing teachers. but it's like to get your information, it's almost like you feel entitled to know it, to know everything because someone you know knows something. A lot of people on social media demanded information from astrologers and went on rants about not getting information for free. People will go into your DMs, hey, read my chart, but no one's prepared to pay or to invest. It's I want to know. And there's nothing wrong with knowing. Of course, it's a wonderful thing wanting to acquire more and more information, which is great. But the work has to be done. The investment has to be made. The information is all available out there, but Sag is about, I want you to tell me the information. I want you to tell me where I can find it instead of searching for it itself. And that's the fun side. You know, I have a lot of Sag Moon people that will go out there and research into everything. And that's what you are supposed to be doing. But the Sag energy, a lot of you guys can be lazy with it and demand information for free from everybody. And that's not the healthy side to Sag energy. So when you apply that to your moon, think about what it is your moon desires to have. If your moon desires information, how are you going to acquire this information? Is it going to be the healthy way or the unhealthy way? The self-taught energy is always Gemini. And it's amazing because Sag is the teacher. But the teacher wants to be given and handed the information rather than searching for it on its own accord because it just feels entitled. My Sag Moon friends will always ask me, oh honey, can I have this? Can I have that? Or get me that? And it's like, excuse me, what bitch? You know, of course my friends are gonna get what they want, my boyfriend, whatever. But again, it's the I'm entitled. I'm a Capricorn moon, so I will always work first before I, put myself out there and ask. But Sag is bold with it. You guys will ask because it's something that's available. Now remember, Sag is also luck. So you guys are notorious for having friends around you who are going to buy you things or give you things, or going out with friends and your friends pay for something for you. But it's not always the same on the receiving end, okay? Especially if there's Taurus energy involved. Now, when it comes to being emotionally triggered, right? I do feel that you guys can be very argumentative. I said it. Don't shoot me. Yes, argumentative. And I say this because Sag loves talking, it loves communicating, it loves sharing ideas and information, things like that. But it's a fire sign. And fire signs are very fiery, very defensive. And when it comes to Sag, if you are emotionally triggered, you guys are wonderful at deflecting. Because this is Jupiter energy, Jupiter is all about adventure, fun, freedom. There's nothing negative about Jupiter, right? When it comes to your emotions and your moon, and your moon is also how you are empathizing with others. So if someone around you is being a bit sensitive, they're a little bit sad, upset, crying, whatever it could be, Sag moon doesn't quite understand or empathize the way that person might want them to. Sag might make a joke about how ugly they cry. The Sag moon person might tell a joke, or the Sag moon person just might have a hard time identifying with that person's emotions because it's just negative and sad. Because remember, this is all about optimism. And when someone around them is a big drab and negative and crying every 5 minutes, oh my gosh, it just weighs that Sag moon person down. You've got to be happy and bubbly and adventurous to date these people because they want to always be on a high, on a buzz. If you are someone who's emotional and you're very heavy, it just feels really intense for these people. And they can't stand it. They need fun, laughter, banter, jokes. Even in my household, I know my boyfriend, so I've got to make fun of him. I'm like, oh babe, like you need to get a trim, your hairline's just going a bit mad, or you're looking a bit grizzly in the face, babe, or your feet are butters. Like, I will literally just make joke, and he does the same thing to me. But this is how, Sag energy essentially is. Sag moon, if you first meet someone, you want them to make you laugh. If they can make you laugh, that makes you like them so much more. When you meet someone who overshares and talks about the negative aspects to their life too much, it just feels like you're oversharing, it's too much, and I don't want that energy around me. It's very off-putting. And how you guys deal with your own emotions is, there's always this need to, you know what, I'm down. I know that I'm down. I can't express to my friends or my people that I'm down because I'm always the friend who's on a high. If I'm down, I might decide to, you know, book a flight. And it's always flights with Sag energy. Book a flight, you know, or go to a different destination, go and have fun somewhere to completely deflect from my emotions, because it's just a heavy, uncomfortable feeling, and I can't bear feeling so low like that. Especially if someone does you guys wrong, they have emotionally triggered you. There's almost this moral code about you guys, or there is the principle. My boyfriend is always saying, it's a principle, it's a principle, you know, when someone triggers him. And it's very hard for you guys to admit to when you guys do something wrong, because you guys are always following a principle. Like Sag energy links us to the law, or links us to judgment day, like the judge, right? And you guys are almost following your own rules to life and your own morals, your own philosophies. So if someone else has a philosophy or an ideology on something, or their own principle, you may just dismiss that because yours makes sense to you. Saying sorry, taking accountability, is you admitting that you are at fault at something. But to do that, you have to really fully assess if you're at fault. Sag has a big ego. So to do that with Sag being in the moon, it just always feels wrong. So there's a principle that you guys tend to follow before you choose to back down when it comes to being emotionally triggered by someone else. Remember, this is fiery energy. Fire is very much about projecting. And I'm a fiery woman as well, I'm an Aries sun. We don't like to show a weakness in vulnerability. So when you're dating someone who is a Sag moon and they know how to back down in an argument, they know how to apologize, this is an evolved Sag. Not something that we see quite often, but it's almost like they got to let go of this ego, you know, in order for them to have a lot more harmony and balance in their relationships. But it's not always easy. As a Sag moon woman, you are the dominating woman in your relationship. You know what you want, you know what you deserve. There's no room for balance, there's no room for anyone else. You know what you are deserving of. So a lot of the times, because you have that domineering Sag moon, the men that you are attracting, I know you want men who can handle you, but the men you are attracting are going to be men who are going to be more your peace or your balance. A lot of the time you'll see Sag end up with Cancer. Cancer men, not saying that Cancer men aren't assertive or projective. Of course they can be, but a lot of the time they embrace more of a passive approach to life when dating Sag energy, because Sag is more projective and aggressive, and that tends to work a bit better. You want to have balance in your relationship, so you want to date someone who's going to be more of your peace. Now, my friend is a Sag moon, right? And every time she goes out, she loves going out, partying, having fun. She gets into arguments with people every time. She's that friend who will argue with the waitress, you know, who will give them a hard time, won't pay service charge, things like that, right? There's always drama involved, but wherever there's drama, there's fun, there's memories to create, there's friendships to be made. It's just always an adventure, there's always a story. And I can't argue with Sag moon. Like, I cannot argue, I would rather fight. Sag moons will fight, right? But Sag moons are very good at arguing with everybody and anybody. Whenever I see a Sag moon, there's usually Sag degrees in someone's chart, which could be 9 degree or 21 degree. There's 9th house stelliums, you know, there is the 9th house ruler could be in the 1st house, you know, the 9th house ruler could be where the sun is. There's something to do with teaching. You guys and your emotional fulfillment is to get as much information from every aspect of life as possible, but to also to be able to teach that to others. So you want to be known as someone who has a lot of information, but also when I'm around Sag moon people who aren't quite open to teaching people, to me there's something in your chart that says that there could be a fear of trusting your own information, or there's something preventing your ability to put yourself in a position to teach, You guys are the most knowledgeable people of the zodiac. We have a lot to learn from you. You guys are notorious for being mentors. If you're not in a position where you are eventually going to teach something, it could be creating a short course, it could be teaching a lecture, it could literally be teaching people how to do lashes. It's the fact that you are teaching that makes you the Sag moon, that gives you that sense of fulfillment. You need to feel fulfilled through teaching, through traveling, through exploring, but also constant need for gaining information from everywhere. And that's why you need to have that freedom to continuously learn about things. You need to keep on learning. When emotionally triggered, these people are notorious for laughing things off. There's no processing the feels. It's a lot of, I would say it's more to do with like your coping mechanism in life. To get down and depressed about things, how can I've got to deflect from my emotions, my feelings, by laughing about things, by going out with my friends, by having fun, by traveling, by deflecting from how I'm truly feeling, because that feeling of dopamine that just makes you deflect on what's really going on. Well, it doesn't mean that you guys don't feel. Of course you feel. You're very emotional people. But on the outside looking in, we're looking at someone who doesn't look like they feel. You guys have to learn to be vulnerable and to express to people, so we look at you as being human. The problem that a lot of Sag moon people have is that because they're so good at deflecting from their true emotions, you guys are almost like robots. You know, like that person probably doesn't even care about me because they're always just so, you know, stuck in this happy vibe that they can't be vulnerable. That's where a lot of you guys get it wrong, is that you are very strong people, but you're human, and it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to show people that. Now, in terms of relationship, you guys will have some type of commitment issue. Remember, the moon is how you feel fulfilled. Remember what I was saying, the moon being in Sag is, you know what, I'm constantly truth seeking. I need to find the truth in something. I require that fullness feeling all the time. So when you're dating someone who does not give you that full feeling, it can make you bored, tired of that relationship. And a lot of relationships, people can get very possessive, very restrictive. People can say things like, hey, you know, I want to date someone, you know, who's going to be home by 6 every day. And for a Sag moon, it's like 6 o'clock every day. What? That's not me. I don't like that restriction. Sag hates rules. It hates restrictions. So dating someone would just make you feel very limited, which is something that you guys hate. You guys require a lot of freedom. And that can also mean in terms of dating whoever you want. It can be interracial relationships. You know, there's also that attraction there as well, because this is about different people, different cultures. Your moon is attracted to that, wants to be part of that environment. You may have also been brought up in an environment where you were around different cultures and different people. You want to date someone who gives you a level of freedom. But one thing I've noticed as well is, even when it comes to like open relationships, right? Sag moon is notorious for being involved in open relationships. You know, dating people, but dating others as well. And I feel like there's obviously more of a combination to that. Obviously, if you've got Gemini placements, 3rd house, 9th house, Aquarius, Uranus aspects as well, all that will contribute to how you view commitment. But because there's just this need to always have adventure, freedom, the Sag moon placement can have a hard time being confined to one person for the rest of their lives. There's just a fear of that, and that's why a lot of them opt for open relationships if that was to be the case. Now, when it comes to our emotions link us to depressive moments that we have. And when you have a Sag moon, you guys don't have a sign that links us to being depressed, right? But when you do go through depressive moments, it's like, I can't be down for too long. I've got to travel. I've got to get away. And that can also be getting away by yourself. It's not always about having a group of friends with you or bringing your partner with you. It can be solo traveling. It can be just being on my own in a cottage in the countryside for a weekend, just getting that fresh air, you know. And that really helps you guys to cope with depressive moments, is you need that ability to travel solo. That liberation, that freedom that you guys desire to have. And remember, depression is very different. It can be different for different people. You know, some people have situational depression, some people are actually diagnosed clinically with depression. But in terms of like what the moon needs to have, you guys need freedom to travel. That's my video, people. I wish you guys the best and take care. Bye.